Witam, surowe AlterMMO. Nowa szkoła, a właściwie skill do Runescape'a zawitał, Nekromancji. Pytanie, czy zawitał, czy dopiero zawita? 29 umiejętność w Runescape'ie, maju 30, czyli wczoraj zadebiutowała. Także zobaczmy, co ona będzie oferowała. Nekromancja? Cóż to może być?
Necromancy is a new skill for RuneScape and a new standalone combat style.
Necromancy is a non-elite new combat skill that goes up to level 120, and for free-to-play it goes up to level 20.
It's the first new combat style ever released in RuneScape. It's the fourth combat style, and it sits independently outside of the original 3 combat styles.
The combat level goes from level 138 up to level 152.
The main antagonist of the Necromancy skill is the first Necromancer. A powerful, ancient Necromancer.
Fajnie jest to prezentowane w tym RuneScape'ie, ale wiecie co? Taki klimat trochę Albiona, szczerze mówiąc. Tak to prezentuję jak w Albionie.
And this time they've taken a special interest in you.
The first Necromancer has attacked Gilnor's underworld, the city of where it's enthralled.
Myślicie, że te wszystkie dupeczki tam w tych firmach, to one faktycznie grają w te gry, czy mają tam kartkę wywieszoną i im mówią, co mają czytać? Szczerze mówiąc, to wiecie, jak to z dziewczynami w tych grach komputerowych. Mi się wydaje, że to coś przeszachrajone jest, ona nie gra w te gierki.
The player must work with old and new characters to master necromancy on the journey that will take you across Gilnor, across the city of to help you free the spirits and defeat the first Necromancer.
Kurczę, ale ta taka szara myszka, to może i gra. O, ta też by mogła grać w sumie, jak tak na nią patrzę.
If combat's something you'd like to do more of, but at the moment you find the barrier to entry is a bit high for the existing styles, then Necromancy is a perfect way to actually get started on it.
Not only will there be lots of tutorials about how to use Necromancy abilities and to do combat in general, but with the upgrade system that we have, you'll be able to upgrade your way through the tiers all the way to tier 90 by doing Necromancy narrative story content.
On the other hand, for players who take a more active approach to combat, Necromancy will reward you for your skill and your knowledge and your activity. As you level through the skill, you'll get access to more complex and challenging encounters.
That's one of the key elements of Necromancy, is making sure that it's approachable, it has those deep systems for those who want it, but it's rewarding for you to master at the end up.
Even though Necromancy is a combat skill, if you don't want to engage with combat at all, you will still be able to level it out of combat.
O, to ciekawe, nie? Bo mimo, że to jest rodzaj stylu walki, nekromancja, to nie będziesz musiał walczyć, tylko za pomocą rytuałów będziesz mógł skillować. A jak rytuały wyglądają?
Where you can just do rituals all the way to level 120.
A, w ten sposób.
Czy jakieś...
To fajne.
Content creators, brought them into the office, got them to play Necromancy, give them their feedback to make sure that before release...
Co jest? Oni zaprosili tego... A, i tutaj dalej też on jest. Ja nie wiem, jak on się nazywa. Joshua? Kurde, nie pamiętam. Ale to jest ten gościu od MMORPG-ów, taki duży youtuber.
This isn't a one and done release. We're going to continue taking on the player feedback. We want to make sure that the skill is as enjoyable for our wider player base. We want the community to be involved heavily with this.
Necromancy is a brand new combat style that features its own new equipment, weapons, incantations and abilities.
Necromancy sits outside
Tak jak nowa klasa jest.
This means it's neither weak nor strong against magic, ranged or melee. The Necromancer's main hand weapon, the Death Guard, is required to use Necromancy abilities.
This is where you'll be mainly using your abilities to deal damage from afar.
While you also have the Spirit Lantern, the offhand, which is required to conjure creatures from the underworld, such as skeleton warriors, putrid zombies, or ghostly wraiths.
The conjure spirits only last for a certain amount of time during combat, but you want to try and make sure that you keep them alive for as long as you can, because as they progress through combat, their combat potential increases and they'll be able to do more and more damage.
Inspiracja Diablo 4. Nawet podświetlenie szkieletów od środka. Cześć Fajrand, witam wszystkich. Skończymy filmik i gadamy.
However, we also have incantations, which will require necromancy runes. One of the incantations available to you is Bone Shield. This allows you to use defensive abilities without requiring a shield. We are also introducing 4 new runes: the Bone Rune, the Spirit Rune, the Flesh Rune, and the Miasma Rune. These are all required for necromancy incantations and can be crafted in the underworld. While some abilities are unlocked just from leveling, others are only unlocked via our new system known as talents. As you engage in necromancy combat, you will earn talent points. By performing rituals, you will gain access to more talents. As you gain access to more talents,
Kurde, niby patrzcie. Nekromancja, a masz tyle rzeczy składowych wokół tego skilla. To jest jak cały nowy dodatek skupiony na nekromancji. Fajnie, brzmi fajnie, ale pytanie, jak to w praktyce wygląda, bo wiecie, i tutaj crafting jest z tym związany, i system walki, i jakieś rytuały, przez co masz zagadki. I jeszcze masz różne typy tej nekromancji, tutaj jeszcze drzewko skilli.
you will have to make
Jeszcze ekwipunek specjalnie pod tą nekromancję, to nie dość, że tak jak dodatek i nowa klasa jakby była
a choice
wprowadzona.
about what you want to unlock now. But once you've mastered the skill, you'll have unlocked everything.
In Necromancy, there's a brand new way to upgrade your equipment. We don't want to waste your time by making low-tier equipment because you'll be blasting through those levels quite quickly. So within Necromancy, you can upgrade the very first piece of equipment you get given after the tutorial. This equipment goes from level 1 to level 90. It is not as simple as going to the Grand Exchange and buying it for yourself. You have to go through the tasks and earn it before you can wear it. After level 90 is the standard set of fare in terms of PVM equipment. So for level 95 will drop from the first Necromancer boss.
We've designed a toolkit for you with the abilities within Necromancy, and we want you to master them. A lot of your existing items and skills will also benefit you in Necromancy. Things like your amulets, your rings, your potions, and even your prayers. As you can expect with all other combat styles, over time we will be adding to this, whether it's new abilities or equipment that changes the way you play.
Rytuały.
In Necromancy, you have complete freedom in how you want to level it.
We want to give players the choice of how to train necromancy. They can train it through combat and through rituals, the skilling method. This allows players to be able to choose more lean-forward or laid-back gameplay.
Often necromancy is portrayed as an evil art, but in the world of Gielinor, the player has a history of working with the dead sometimes. So the player has to learn how to work with the dead, to have them ally and
Praca
join
ze
the fight against the
zmarłymi.
first necromancer. When you first arrive in the city of it will be lifeless.
Patrzcie, i też jest, nie wiem, czy to jest też nowe miasto, które tutaj wprowadzają, bo nie znam się na Runescape'ie, ale jak jeszcze nowe miasto przy okazji wprowadzania nowego skilla wprowadzają, to już jest, kurde, no, grubo.
Time, as you become more powerful, you'll be repopulating the city with various dead, primarily through the use of communion rituals.
This will grant you
Ciekawe to jest, bo powiedzieli, że będziesz zapełniał to miasto nieumarłymi, ale to jak to jest? Ty masz instancjonowane to miasto? Czy to jest... No bo nie wyobrażam sobie tego, że każdy z graczy by mógł swojego nieumarłego tam wrzucić. Przecież to by się zaraz zajebiście tłoczno tam zrobiło. Pewnie jest to w jakiś sposób instancjonowane i tyle, a tak jakby to są tylko rodzaje questów, to nie tak, że to jest jakiś bardzo rozległy mechanizm czy zaawansowany. Raczej chodzi o to tylko, że
progression in the well
zrobisz
of
kilka
souls,
questów i
which
się
you can use to
pojawiają
unlock new
nieumarli, nie?
abilities. There are 12 different
Znaczy,
ritual
właśnie
recipes
umarli.
you can perform, each requiring different components, a different focus object, and each providing different rewards. Here you build ritual components. These consist of light sources, such as candles, and glyphs around a chosen focus object. All rituals will give XP. Some of them will also give crafting materials, which can be used to upgrade your necromancer's equipment or craft reagents.
Lore,
There are a few
historia.
different ways you can talk about the narrative of the necromancy skill. Of course, there is going to be the story for everybody training to take the skill out into the world, to fight the various monsters and the bosses, to perform Slayer and Reaper tasks, and just to level up from 1 to 120. But the story of the first Necromancer is also a huge part
Czytałem,
of
że
the
ten
skill
RuneScape
update.
gorzej
The
wygląda.
first Necromancer's ultimate ambition is to break the cycle of life and death, to control all of the souls of You could see him being a counterpart, a mirror to death. In order to break the cycle, all life on the surface must cease, all must die. To master necromancy, the player is going to have to spend a lot of time in the city of building up their own allies in the world of the dead. But also, they'll take their newfound necromancy skills back up to the surface above and use them to fight foes old and new. So the early quests will teach the player the fundamentals of necromancy combat, rituals, and runecrafting. As you free more spirits from the thrall of the first necromancer, you yourself will grow in power. And then as you unlock more of this power, you'll gain access to battles and additional quests. And then all of this is building up to a final confrontation, a boss fight versus the first Necromancer himself.
Spoko. O, wizualnie jeszcze
It
pokażą.
was fundamental to us to make sure the Necromancy was designed based on learnings from the past and built for the future.
The amount of work that's gone into Necromancy from the entire Runescape team and cross disciplines has been immense.
It is visually stunning. It is a city to die for. We've got new bosses, we've got new goodies, and ultimately, players get to become a powerful, badass Necromancer.
Above all else, to me, Necromancy is going to be that communal experience again. It's going to bring all players together with a new skill in this new city to interact with, to learn together,
Nowe
to
miasto.
have fun.
The launch of Necromancy is just the beginning. We're going to continue to expand and evolve it over time.
There's something here for everyone. There's something here for the top end bosses, something for the casual players, something for the skillers, something for the story players. This is your chance to play RuneScape in a whole different way.
Powiem wam, że jak nazwali cały filmik Nekromancja, pierwsze spojrzenie, to jest to krzywdzące, bo sobie myślisz, mech, tylko jeden skill wrzucili do gry i to wszystko, a tu jest praktycznie nowy dodatek, bez kitu. Może nie jakiś bardzo rozległy, ale nowy dodatek. No ale ludzie tutaj jak zwykle, nie? Podhypowani. Fajnie się to prezentuje. Aż by człowiek zagrał i zobaczył, o co to chodzi. Spoko.